Hi grade 5, today we will talk about new lesson, and in this session we will know the tools used by geologists. Geologists use many tools. Some are basic as rock hammer and hand lens, and others are developed as the thermal imagers like this. Thermal imagers used by volcanologists to identify new lava flows. Used by volcanologists to identify new lava flows. Okay, this is the thermal imagers. Used to identify new lava flows. Scientific observation isn't easy for geologists. Why? Sometimes they must work in extreme environments to gather data. So recently, geologists have begun to depend on robots. Why? To withstand extreme conditions. Okay? Like this. For example, depths can be lowered far below Earth's surface to explore Sankel. Okay? Sometimes geologists use GPS. GPS help geologists pinpoint locations. Computers are useful for accessing information as well as for recording data. Okay, GPS. So, geologists use physical tools like what? Number 1, rock hammer. Yes, rock hammer like this used by geologists to collect samples. The second tools, hand lens. Let's know used to know what. So rock hammer used to collect rock sample. Number 2, electronic technology, GPS for mapping. Number 3, computers for recording data. 4, hand lens used for observing samples up close. Hand lens. Number 5, streak plates used for testing a mineral's streak color. Like this. Who can tell me what's meant by streak? Yes, it is a colored line. Yes, comes from scratching minerals. For example, gold leaves a yellow streak. Pyrite leaves a greenish black streak. Okay, so the streak colors help us or help geologists to identify minerals. To identify minerals. Yes. Geologists carry identifications guides to help them recognize different rocks and fossils. Okay, so geologists carry identifications guides to help them recognize different rocks and fossils. So let's know different tools to identify the samples. If we have many samples, we want to identify or to differentiate between them. Number 1, vinegar. We can use vinegar. Geologists can use vinegar. Why? Because limestone reacts with acids like vinegar. So putting vinegar on a rock shows whether the rock contains limestone or not. Okay, so we use vinegar to identify the rock, to know if this rock limestone or not. Okay. Number 2, hand lens. Sandstone are made of small particles. So hand lens can be used to take closer look at those particles. So we geologists can use hand lens to identify sandstone. Why? Because sandstone are made up of small particles, okay? Strike plate. A rock can be one color, but its strike color can be another color. So geologists use tools to classify rock samples. So vinegar is used to identify carbonate minerals like what? Like limestone, dolostone, and marble. Limestone, marble, and dolostone. Okay? So vinegar is used to know if the rock showed limestone or not, because limestone reacts with acids like vinegar. Okay, and we can use, or geologists can use hand lens to identify sandstone. Why? Because sandstone are made of small particles. Okay, and the geologist can use rock hammer to collect rock samples, or GPS for mapping, and computers for recording data. Thank you, grade 5, and goodbye.